Everyone, happy Labor Day weekend. At least it is for me. By the time I post this, it'll probably be around Labor Day. Anyway, what am I doing? I am waiting for FedEx. I'm getting my new ignition from Moto Electrics. So I got everything prepared as much as I can. I got the bolt out of the rotor. I got the old system out. There's the Dyna sensor. I got the Dyna unit here just ready to go away. I think I had, so you can see I made some repairs. So this thing was shorting out. It just was inconsistent. I think this part here was smushed in here when the case went together. So that messed up this part of the wire. I think it had a strike, which I think has loosened. There's a short in here. And then the worst was it was smushed up here because the guy didn't put it through the grommet. Anyway, I'm just cutting and splicing this whole thing. And I don't really like the system anyway because I don't think the cylinders are balanced. I don't know how these things work. I think you could move these sensors around a little bit. Yeah, they're slotted. So I think I had an imbalance from these, and I'm not messing with it. So the new one will have crank-mounted optical sensor. And I'm waiting for FedEx to deliver it, and here it is. So I'm going to put the system in now. Boy, that was good timing. Let's see, I got my receipt, got instructions, which I went on their website and I kind of memorized it. I like to prepare. And then the box. Mount the unit. Mounted. Alright, as I said, I already removed the bolt. So here's the rotor. This will be for the optical part. So the gap in the light. So the two beams will touch that gap. So, yeah, another nice touch. No more split washer, which it had on it. Now that cool, I forget the name of it, but it's a cool German washer with the little ridges on it, which my 911 uses in some places. Nice touch. So that will be bolted on into the hole here, 14 foot-pounds. So I got my torque wrench, and I'm going to do that right now. Let's see if I can have one foot on the brake, one on the gas. All right, that's 14. 14. All right, next step. The bolt is in, 14 foot-pounds, as you just saw. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention, they give you Loctite also. So that was Loctited. Now I'm going to remove these two flatheads so I can mount the optical plate. All right, here's the optical sensor. So I test fitted it, and my bike likes it with the shim on the inside to hold it out a little bit. I'll show it once it's mounted. So I'm going to throw some Loctite on there and get this going. After further review, I don't need the shim. I don't know if you can see this, but the disc is centered between the two, and my position on my bike was not the shim underneath the plate, so I just use them as washers. The shims are really just used as washers on those bolts. So I'm going to tighten that up and move to the next step. So this is the pickup wire. I'm going to route it behind the diode board and back into the starter cavity, and I'll see you on the other side. All right, we're fished through, and I'll put them through here. Might get some silicone grease and then maybe a little pick or something to push that out. Alright, I got it through. So I just started it with this little precision screwdriver. I stuck it in the grommet, and I just basically, with my two fingers, stretched it out. And I put this in. And then I might put a little bit of silicone on here and just Snake it through and then see how this grommet sits. Okay, so that harness, one of them will eventually be grounded here. So this ain't my first rodeo. I don't know what the condition of this. You could see I've been upgrading my hardware to stainless steel. But I'm going to make sure that this has good frame contact underneath this bracket, because I like good grounds. Okay, so that's where the coils mount, so I shine that up, got some paint off of the frame. I definitely want a good ground. Got some of the rust off of the back side of that. And I'm going to ground her down. Okay, screwing these in, these terminals. Just make sure you loosen these screws so that these silver bars are at the opposite end on the bottom. Because when you screw it in, those will move up, and that's what will clip them in. This one I had clamped on the wrong side of it and it came out, so these are all correct, and the other three will be reserved for the pickup connectors. Okay, so green, white, yellow, brown, big brown, black. Okay, it says if that's messed up, it destroys the unit, so double check. By the way, there's the ground. So I think we're wired up. The coil's wired up, so I was taking the Dyna off, so I want to leave these in place. So the brown from the Dyna, so this is, I'm not running points, so this is what I got. So your ground, or your negative off of the right side coil, and replace it with the black of the new unit. And then on the other side, the Dyna III has a red. And then you, well, the instructions are pretty clear. There's a 2-pole ignition hot wire here. So this is the factory wire, and then you just take the red one off of the Dyna III and then you put that on. Yep, getting there. All hooked up with connections. Now my favorite, spinning the rear wheel here, looking for OT in that window, and to make sure it really lines up with the notch. The notch isn't centered in that circle. It's kind of like at 10 o'clock. This isn't focusing. Anyway, I'm going to do that right now. Alright, just check the wiring. I didn't zip tie anything yet. I unhooked my battery charger. I had this topped off. And put my new spark plugs, not in but connected. We hooked up my spark plug wires on this side. And I'm about to hook up the battery here. And do the timing. So it is at top dead center. Of course, I nudged it too much and had to go around again. So I'll show you the light, the timing light piece on the bottom where you line up the wheel. I'll do that in a second as soon as I screw this bolt into the battery. Okay, ready to set the timing. So I'm going to use the Allen key to turn the rotor. It said to use 2 business cards behind this disc to make sure that there's clearance between the disc and the brush holders. So the 2 cards, business cards, were in the package. So pretty cool. So I'm going to turn on the ignition and just turn this clockwise until the light goes out. So it'll hit that. Oh, there goes my cards. Lights on. Lights out. Alright, so what I'm going to do is play with this, put the cards back in, because I can't do this with 2 arms, I need 3 while I'm filming. So I'll have this done by the time I'm back. We're working. Alright, so we had spark. So anyway, I'm going to put these on. And get these guys back in, both sides. Yeah, so I would say I'll check the timing tomorrow. It's kind of getting late. I mean, my total, I did go out to dinner in the middle of this. It really didn't take long at all. It was a pretty easy install. So nothing to be afraid of. And the instructions are just fantastic. And I like that it works. So I had no spark before. So I wasn't going to troubleshoot and play with that Dyna III anymore. So yeah, very nice to see spark. So I'm going to, can't get that off one-handed. So I'll do this off camera, and I think tomorrow I'll have the covers on and run it with the timing light. See you tomorrow. Hello, it's a new day, and I'm finishing up this project. I'm going to just store my old advanced unit. I guess I'll leave that trigger on for now. You never know. Points may be options, since with the system you could use them as backup. So yeah, I got all the hardware and everything I took out. So my plan of action today is put the headlight on. I've got the tank on. Let's do the timing. Well, I'm going to confirm the timing. It should be perfect. And then what I'm going to do while I'm doing the timing, because I'll have the engine idling in here, I'm going to do a carb balance. Luckily, these Mikunis, someone put vacuum ports on them, so that's very nice. Okay, so hook up headlight, hook up battery, hook up vacuum gauges, hook up timing light, start bike. Be back. All right, we're purring like a kitten. So here's the carb mate. Instructions on how to use this. So that means this cylinder is pulling more vacuum to increase the resolution on it. So I'm going to just check the timing first. At idle, it's perfectly synced, mostly. And then I'll flip the throttle a little bit and try and sync it up when the slides come up. Oh. All right. I can't see. Let me see if I get closer without filming. Alright, probably a little bit rich in the mid-range. Alright, I'm out here in Juno Beach doing my test run. So I got the carb synced. After I put the new ignition in, I don't know what the timing was before, but yeah, I had to play with my jetting a little bit. So I dropped the needle from 4th to 3rd, and my pilot was a bit off. So anyway, I'm not going to fight it. I give the bike what it wants. The pilot right now is 1 1/4 turns in. I'm getting a little hesitation at cruise off idle. So like if I close the throttle, if I'm cruising, close the throttle, and I give it a little bit of gas, I get a little hesitation. So I'm going to open the Pilot a quarter turn for 1.5 total on each side. But yeah, I'm very happy with the with that upgrade. And I would say for my kit going forward, I'll probably just keep an optical sensor. If I do any touring, I'll keep an optical sensor in my kit, which can be changed on the side of the road pretty quickly. So anyway, I'll wrap it up. I did get a chin mount for my helmet for my full face, so I'll do a riding video at some point, but for right now I'm going to be doing my riding. Over and out.